Okay, let me remove my earbuds. I think there's something wrong with my AirPods. Can you hear me now? Do I have audio? Let's wait for my production team to tell me if I have audio. Do I have audio now? Uh, okay, they said I have audio now. Good afternoon again. Thank you for joining me. Um, Welcome to Going Live with Shelly Lazaro Express. This is the digital counterpart of our Going Live with Shelly Lazaro regular TV program on Net 25. It's a lifestyle, entertainment, and advocacy talk show. I hope you watch out for that. Meantime, during this ECQ, I will be with you every day at 4 p.m. And we will be talking to company owners and top executives who are currently doing significant things to help during this crisis. I'm very excited. We are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Net25 TV, and Eagle Broadcasting Media channels. Okay, so let's start. I'm very excited again this afternoon because another fellow Rotarian is joining us. So 3 days in a row, we started with the owner of Manila Times, Clink Ang, and then yesterday we had Bobby Castro of Palawan Pawn Shop Group. And now we have another Rotarian, Mr. Donato Almeda, but we all call him Natoy, to join us and talk about the many CSR initiatives of Solea Resort and Casino through Bloomberry Cultural Foundation, to which he is the president. So let's all welcome Natoy to our show. Hi, Natoy!
Hi, Shelly. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon to all your viewers also.
Hello, Natoy!
Yes, can you hear me? Yes.
Hear you. Thank you for taking time to join us this afternoon. Natoy, how are you during this ECQ? Can you share a little bit about maybe you have some personal life reflections?
Well, of course, everybody has to stay home. I do my own little share of the quarantine directive. Um, Maybe once a week, perhaps at most twice. I also go to the office and monitor things from there. Of course, I have to kind of sign up some documents also. Remember, we're also very active right now, Shelly, in giving a lot of relief efforts, not only to our frontliners and uh, indigent kababayans, we're also doing a lot of planning to how we can help also our team members go with this particular crisis altogether.
Yeah, Natoy, that's why you're here. We're only inviting people talaga and companies na may significant effort to our COVID-19 situation. Now, later we will discuss in details. Before we go to that, icebreaker lang. Let's play a game. We have a little game here sa show. It's called This or That. I'm just be giving you choice, two options, and then you're just gonna have to tell me your choice as quick as possible. Are
All
you
right.
game for that? All right. We'll have around 10 questions. Okay, number one. Robe or slippers?
Oh, slippers.
Okay. You have no chance to defend your answer. Check in or check out?
Check in.
Okay. Ocean or garden?
Garden.
Penthouse or villa?
Villa.
Solo or twin?
Solo.
Table or machine?
Table. Was that
Okay.
table?
We, all right. Retail or wholesale?
Wholesale.
Italian or Japanese?
Japanese.
Suit or shoes?
Suit.
Shampoo or body wash?
Body wash.
Singer or comedian?
Comedian.
Okay. Last question. Resort or casino?
Wow. Of course, casino.
Okay.
I
So
cannot
now we
have
go.
both, I guess. So it, it has to be a resort if it's a casino. So it goes, for me, it's the same.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So now Nato, quick facts about Soler Resort and Casino. I know you're the vice chairman of Soler for construction and regulatory affairs. Share
That's
with us
correct.
quickly lang because I want to focus more on your CSR efforts and initiatives. How big is Soler, your property? How many guest rooms?
We have about 800 guest rooms right now,
Okay.
300 of which are suite, all suite rooms. We have two towers, the Bay and Sky. The Bay has around 500 rooms, and the Sky Tower, which is the more, I guess, a little bit of a higher grade than the Bay, though they're all five-star, is where all the
Okay.
300 all suites are. Yes.
Wow, it's big. Natoy, how many employees do you have?
We have approximately 5,400 or 5,400 as we speak,
Okay.
time employees.
All right. Your occupancy rate before ECQ, or at least before this COVID-19 outbreak.
Oh yeah. Before this crisis, we were hovering in the high 90s. I mean, we are a high occupancy resort. In the weekends, we're totally sold out. I even tell
Okay.
my friends that even myself, I cannot get a room during weekend. So
Wow.
pretty strong. We're pretty strong.
That's your normal pre-COVID, right?
That's correct.
Uh Natoy, what are the effects of this COVID-19 to your business? I don't know if you still have restaurants that are operational now doing deliveries or something.
No, the casino obviously is closed.
Okay.
It has been closed since the lockdown started. Uh, the hotel by itself is open, though there are no more additional check-ins that are happening since the lockdown period. Also, there are long-staying guests or those that were, um, um, I guess, tied up or caught up with the particular lockdown who chose to stay with us on a
Okay.
long-term basis now. So we have about, I would say, about 150 rooms that are still occupied.
All
We
right.
obviously have to serve them, so we have a skeletal force that's within the property or in the property to obviously serve our existing guests. I believe we have
Okay.
two restaurants that are open: the Waterside Resto Bar at the Sky Tower ground floor or level one or our lobby floor, and we have the House of Zoo, which is an all day dining restaurant.
But these restaurants can only serve your in-house guests right
That's
now.
correct. That's correct. We are
Okay.
not allowing
Um,
any check-ins or even visitors at this time.
all right. Natoy, you have a theater, right? Are you of some people maybe asking about refunds for all mga purchase tickets?
You know, when the ECQ was handed down to all of us, we have the Broadway musical Matilda. I think it was ongoing at that time that they had to abruptly cut short the show. And I'd like to think all of those that were not able to watch it because of the canceled shows already have all been refunded by the
Okay.
producer and Ticket World. We're not actually the producer of the show. We only lease out the theater to the producers
All right. So if they have concerns, they have to contact the producer.
or Ticket World. I think Ticket World is the
Okay.
official ticketing agent for the show.
All right. How about I know you're constructing a property. I don't know if it's a branch of Soler or a completely new property at Quezon City.
Yes, uh, we're actually actively constructing what we call Soler North, which is actually in the Ayala Vertis North property out there in
Okay.
Quezon City. So it's a pretty nice property. It's a 1.5 hectare land site, of which we will be developing approximately about 220,000 square meters of developed space. So it'll be an exciting Soler property also as what we call now Soler North.
Oh, okay. So prior to COVID-19, Natoy, what was your target completion date for this?
We were hoping that we could have
I lost Natoy. Natoy, I can't hear you.
Okay, I can
Okay,
hear you
there.
though. Okay.
There.
We were hoping that by the end of 2022 we will be ready for opening of our Soler North. Um, by the time the ECQ came down or this crisis began, we actually were pouring concrete already on the basement floor, the deepest basement floor, which is basement 5. So we pretty much, building it from basement floor up already from the time that we uh, stopped construction.
All right. So now everything will depend on this ECQ and COVID-19 situation in terms of the completion date, no?
That's correct. That's correct. We're just waiting for the
Natoy,
government to lift the construction prohibition at this time.
okay. Now, Natoy, let's talk about your role as president of the Bloomberry Cultural Foundation, Inc. As I've said early on, this is the CSR arm of Soler Resort and Casino. You've made tons of donations to the government. Can you share with us? I know you donated to Department of Health. Let's start with your donation to Department of Health.
Well, for this, I guess let's start from our first project, which is
Okay.
actually a DOH project by itself. If you remember, during Yolanda, much of the province of Leyte was devastated. So our first project actually was a hospital, or is a hospital. Still there. We called it the Mother and Child. We built it from scratch. It's actually a birthing facility that is part of the Eastern Visayas Regional Medical Center in Tacloban. So that's our
Okay.
first project. It's actually over a 400 million peso project that we donated to the Department of Health. And that was actually, we inaugurated that in 2016. Now, fast forward now, obviously, we're still doing a lot of health-related projects, and now comes this pandemic, what we call now COVID-19. We have really mobilized resources, our own resources within the foundation to not only help the government fight it out, this particular virus, but help everybody in the not only in the front line, but also the uh, the other aspects of the different society members that we have. You're showing there a picture, I can see it, of our
Yes.
donation of a PCR machine to the lung center. Actually, we gave that about 2 weeks ago. And hopefully by now it's been commissioned and being used by the lung center of the Philippines in Quezon City for testing. That's actually one of the
Okay.
machines they use. And we actually procured 3 of those,
All
one of
right.
which has been delivered already to lung center, and the other 2 are still coming. And those are also going to government hospitals. On top of that, we probably by now would have ordered or procured about 100 or over 100,000 of the hazmats or PPEs, as we call them, the suits. Probably 150,000 of N95 masks, the goggles, the shoe protectors. We've been doing for the last so many weeks is distributing this to different government hospitals. Obviously, as our a big salute to our frontliners. The military establishment is also getting a fair share of it because not only the AFP have their own station hospitals, but also PNP have their own hospitals. Um, Even to the extent of the people at the checkpoints. Initially, as when we started having checkpoints, we made sure that the PNP staff or the members of our national police are pretty much also taken care of by giving them the tents and the food and the basic things that they need to be able to do their job well.
So Natoy, I want for those who aren't reading the papers or watching the news, I think this is a common knowledge naman. This is not confidential. Your donation to DOH of the PPEs and 95 masks and face shields, you spent at least 65 million pesos for this.
Oh,
Correct?
much more than that by now, Shelly.
More. Yes, more than
More
60
than that. I
million.
believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're running over 600 now with different items that we have procured, not only in terms of when I say 600 million, that includes
Yes.
the procurement of ventilators, PCR machines. We also have retrofitted, as you know, we have retrofitted the Ninoy Aquino Stadium and the Rizal Memorial Stadium
Yes.
to be quarantine facilities for COVID positive patients. Hopefully, they're being used not only by the LGUs but also by DOH referred patients.
Ah,
So
okay.
on top of that, actually, we gave 100 million to the DSWD Office of President funding that was actually upon instructions, if not endorsed by our regulator, PAGCOR.
So Natoy, again, this makeshift hospital you set up at your, this is your property, right? The Ninoy Aquino Stadium at Rizal Memorial. This is in partnership with the LGUs and DOH. So this is not open. This is parang you cannot just walk in.
No, no, hold on.
So,
First of all, they're not our property. These are
oh, okay,
government
all right.
property. As you know, this
Ah,
is
okay,
part of
yeah,
this
okay.
Rizal Memorial Complex, being managed by PSC, actually, Philippine Sports Commission. Uh, these facilities have been chosen actually by the IATF, headed by actually this particular project was headed by Vince Dison and Secretary Mark Villar to be able to convert these particular two facilities as quarantine sites or quarantine facilities for, again, COVID positive patients that are not as severe or some of them are asymptomatic. So instead of them occupying spaces in our hospitals, that's where they are quarantined first.
Okay.
Partly also, Rizal Memorial, from what I understand, is a step-down facility for those coming from the hospitals, recuperating, yung mga nagpapagaling, and they go down and what we call a step-down facility as in Rizal Memorial Complex. So these are both manned, by the way, by the AFP or the Armed Forces Medical Corps, not by DOH. But
Ah,
of
all
course,
right.
all of this that we have done followed certain protocols and procedures and standards by DOH.
So approximately how many patients can you accommodate there? How many beds do you have
I
approximately?
believe both facilities can accommodate about 250 patients, about 130 on
Wow.
one and 120 on the other.
Okay. So for those, Natoy, I'll just do a recap. For those who just tuned in, we are talking to Mr. Natoy Almeda. He is the president of the Bloomberry Cultural Foundation, the CSR arm of Soler Resort and Casino. We are currently discussing all the many contributions, donations that his foundation has given our country. So to recap, they have donated to date around 600 million pesos worth of PPEs and 95 masks, face shields, test kits. They also donated to Philippine Red Cross the ambulance, negative pressure ambulance for use of COVID patients. They also converted the Ninoy Aquino Stadium at Rizal Memorial to a makeshift hospital that can accommodate around 250 COVID patients in coordination in partnerships with DOH and LGUs. Natoy, this is on top of this, you are also donating food packs to frontliners.
Well, we did that for the house, our host city of Parañaque. At first glance, what we did is the health workers or the health staff of the city, we made sure that they are fed 3 times a day for the very least the first 4 weeks of this quarantine period. I'm not sure if we have been asked to do it still as of now, but that's what we did for our host city, Parañaque, for their medical staff in City Hall.
Okay.
Oh,
And
I just
how
want
about,
the Red Cross. No, you mentioned something about the Red Cross, and I'm glad actually that
yes.
the Philippine Red Cross, through our through the leadership of Senator Gordon, was able to use the money. We gave that money to Red Cross last year, pa, we gave them 124 million to help them out on partly on their dialysis program. And apparently, from what I was told, they used part of that money to buy these negative pressure ambulances, which is very practical and very useful at this time. Now that we or they probably will pick up some patients that are either COVID positive or very symptomatic, and you don't want the people manning the ambulance or people around the ambulance to be infected by those patients that they are picking up from these ambulances.
Okay. Natoy, I know that aside from the many test kits that you have donated already, I know that you are just waiting, or I don't know if it's here already. You were waiting for the FDA approval because you ordered additional test kits from China and South Korea. Was it approved already, or
It
has it
actually
yeah?
it was well, it is already approved by our FDA. We actually procured that probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. A part of it has already arrived. Some of them are still arriving as we speak. It's actually a company out of Houston, Texas, but the authorized manufacturing facility in the region is in China. So it's also coming from China.
And we're talking hundreds of thousands of test kits.
These are what
Wow,
we
big
call
help.
the rapid test kits, Shelly. These are the 15-minute
Yeah.
test kit that you can really establish whether you are IgM positive or IgG positive or otherwise negative. So if you read
Okay.
pretty much, I've studied a little bit of it now. IgM positive, you really have to be quarantined right away and go for a PCR swab test to confirm your being virus positive.
So, Soler and Bloomberry Cultural Foundation, you donated at least 1 billion pesos na during this crisis, give or
Uh,
take.
Probably it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yes. Nato, you mentioned earlier that you have long-staying guests. So some of your employees are still going to work to serve these customers. How are you protecting them and the guests that are currently there still? You
They
have
stay
health
in.
and safety
Actually, they
protocols.
stay in. We of course we cannot allow our employees. Of course, we're very strict with our again the quarantine alone. We make sure that our employees are well protected. So we did instruct and obligate them to stay in uh, within our property to make sure that they don't again go out and be exposed to the elements of being outside because of the nature of this virus.
Do they get hazard? I don't know the policy, but do they get hazard pay for the employees asked to work now?
Yes, yes, actually we
Because
give
it's
them.
very high
Yes,
risk.
it's only fair
Okay.
they get a little bit of a hazard, extra hazard pay for what they're doing.
Natoy, are you opening already once ECQ is lifted?
Well, it really depends on our regulator. My expectation of the possible lifting of our ECQ will be in phases. No, so say for instance, if for some reason construction is lifted, then we probably can start again constructing, continuing to construct our Solar North. In the event that the I guess this side of the industry of the resort and casino industry uh, is being given the green light to start again, we will go to PAGCOR, and PAGCOR will be the final say whether we are all ready to restart our operations. And of course, we are doing our preparatory things right now, and as we speak, we're actually doing rapid testing for all our pinpointed employees that will be there during the restarting positions, as we call it. So we're
Okay.
establishing our own protocols. We have actually done a lot of homework now on what will be our safety and safety protocols during this. I would say the new normal, so to speak. So
Yes. That's what everyone I think is very curious about in terms of hotel operations. Like because if there is still no vaccine, if there is still no cure, we still can't operate normally. Hello, Lovey. Sorry. We're having technical problems again. Hey Nato, can you hear me? Sorry about
Yes, I can
that.
hear you, Shelly. I
Having
lost you
tag
there
out
for
on
a
sa
while.
akin again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue our discussion. We're
This is
talking
part of the
about
new
the new
normal. We
normal.
talk over
Yes.
our own computers now.
Yes. So, can you paint us a picture like if there's still no vaccine, no cure for COVID, but hotels are allowed to operate already sometime in the future? How is it gonna be? When we check into hotel, have you been talking about that post ECQ measures already?
Absolutely, yeah. But obviously, social distancing will be a norm. I mean, I don't think anybody would want to shake hands with anybody anymore. I mean, it'll be a different kind of lifestyle, so to speak. Our, I guess, our very Filipino warm attitude may be a little bit tempered with a lot of those health safety factors. We probably be a little bit more of the Japanese that we will tend to bow more than shake hands. Uh, Probably wear mask when we think that we obviously are feeling not too good or what. Uh, we maintain distance between people that we don't really know of. So there'll be changes in our lifestyle, so to speak. I mean, I myself would probably take a few more precautions when you're dealing with your day-to-day go around, whether it be work or home. So
Natoy, for sure, Soler has business recovery plans in place already, or you're talking about it already. Do you mind sharing to us just a bit?
well, what we're putting a lot of efforts right now is number one, how to protect our own employees and our patrons from this particular virus, assuming that there's no vaccine yet. So when we restart, obviously we'll have new protocols. Sanitation will be of very prime importance. Wearing of mask, social distancing, as I said, even in our own team dining rooms. When you have 5,000 employees, 24/7. I mean, you obviously have a lot of people eating at the same time, so obviously they cannot mingle, if not commingle among themselves. I mean, these are the things that we obviously have to plan ahead to make sure that not only are we protecting them as our own assets as employees, but also to make sure that they don't get sick. No, I mean, of course, if they get sick, perhaps they bring to the family also they get sick. I mean, these are the things that we now are putting in our minds. I mean, for all these years that we take for granted our capability to ward off sicknesses, but now that we've seen that we can be obviously put into a situation wherein we can't do much because of an enemy that we don't know or we can't see. We have to do a lot of this new normal as we call them now.
So Natoy, how can your industry, the hotel, the hospitality industry as a whole, can help jumpstart the economy after this crisis?
Well, of course, the economy has to turn around. I mean, that's precisely why we would like people again to not be afraid to spend. Although there'll be a lot of caution before people would go full blast on their spending habits. So the, 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 the economy by itself is really uh, triggered by the economic activity borne by people spending and construction and the flow of money. There's a lot of economics involved in doing that, but at the same time, the economic activity itself would be generated by different industries, of which one of us, of which ourselves is just one of them. So parang orchestra yan, Shelly. I mean, we all have to play our own different share of the orchestra well enough so that the whole economy or our country's economy will get back to shape. It may take a while, but surely with our guts and our dedication, I'm sure we can get there again.
So to our viewers, I think like me, as soon as they allow you to operate already and you can accept bookings, I will definitely patronize Soler. It's our way of giving back. You've given us more than 1 billion pesos during this crisis. So mga viewers, let's all get accommodation bookings at Soler when they're allowed to operate already. Natoy, any inspiring or any message to the general public?
Well, during this time, as you have said earlier, it gives us a little bit more time to reflect. No, I was listening the other night to a NCR mayor that was practically pleading to our countrymen, yung mga kababayan natin, to for once listen to the leadership, trust your government, so to speak. No, makinig naman tayo. At the same time, we cannot. We all have our opinion on how to deal with this, but at the same time, there has to be. We have to follow a certain leadership for which is for the betterment, if not the best of all of us. So, iwasan nating maging pasaway. Obviously, we have to be a lot more obedient in terms of what we do to be able to fight this epidemic, if not pandemic, properly. And for those that within their own little community, I mean, we all live in our different cities that we reside on. Kung meron tayong maitutulong, let's try to help within our own community. It doesn't have to be big. Obviously, corporations like us, we are able to, at least we are lucky enough to be able to pull our resources together to be able to help in a very substantial way. But in our own little way, us Filipinos should be able to do also in our own personal way, in our own little community, kung meron tayong matulungan na kapitbahay or kabarangay or things like that. No, I mean, that's why we call it the Bayanihan Act, because we are all, our DNA is all about being helpful and being friendly to our own kababayans.
Very nice message, Nato. To our viewers, Nato is a fellow Rotarian. We're both from the Rotary International District 380. I am so proud to be a Rotarian. For 3 consecutive days, I have Rotarian guests making a huge difference now during this crisis. It started the other day with Klink Ang, your
Yes, of course,
co-member.
our
We're in the same
member there
club
at
for
Makati
Manila
North.
Times.
Yes.
Yes, yesterday I had Palawan Pawn Shop Group owner Bobby Castro, who's
Okay.
also giving so much to the country now. And you, Nato, thank you. I'm so proud. I'm a proud Rotarian. So
Thank you.
I think
Thank you.
so many Rotarians now are doing their share, whether personal or through their companies and organizations. Nato, thank you so much again for joining us. And we pray for the safety of all your frontliners. It's not
Thank you
easy. They
also.
still have
Thank
to be
you,
out
Shelly,
there.
and God bless our country.
I hope we can. I want to know how Soler is doing. What's the new normal is once the ECQ is lifted or we're allowed to operate and go out. I hope we can continue this discussion in my studio for my regular TV program once we're allowed to resume
Sure.
taping already. It would be interesting to know how your industry is. Thank you,
First, let's meet you.
Natoy.
Okay. Sige,
I
salamat.
hope you
Thank you.
enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, mga lovies, for those who just tuned in now, we are done. At least I'm not too overtime now, no? Hindi super, super overtime. So we just spoke to my fellow Rotarian, Natoy Almeda. He is the president of Bloomberry Cultural Foundation, Inc. So this is the CSR arm of Soler Resort and Casino. Super amazing the contributions and donations that they are giving. They have given away so far at least 1 billion in cash and in kind. Yung donations in kind nila, they procured 600 million pesos worth of PPEs and 95 masks, face shields. They also gave away hundreds of thousands test kits, and now they're distributing now the new rapid test kits. They also donated to Philippine Red Cross, which the Philippine Red Cross used that money to buy new negative pressure ambulances for use of COVID-19 patients. They also set up a makeshift hospital at Rizal Memorial Ninoy Aquino Stadium that can accommodate around 250 to 300 COVID patients. So let's all let's pray for the safety of Soler Resort and Casino, all their employees. Let's pray that everyone from the management team, the owners, all the directors, that be given strength and good health so they can continue the good work that they're doing. So that's it for this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed. Join me again tomorrow. I invited my very own Tita Boots Anson Roa Rodrigo. For sure, everyone knows her. The veteran film and TV actress. And she is also, for the longest time, the president of Mowel Fund. Also, make it fun naman. Some of you might, Mobile Fund is an acronym. Whoever gets to type in sa comment section yung meaning ng acronym ng Mobile Fund, the first person to type the correct answer, you will have a special gift from Going Live with Shelly Lazaro. We will check it later and we will announce the winner tomorrow. So again, Mobile Fund, what does it stand for? The first one to type in through the comment section gets a special prize from Going Live with Shelly Lazaro. So that's it for now. I hope you will join me again tomorrow, 4 p.m. So don't forget to like and follow our Going Live with Shelly Lazaro social media pages so you can get updates and notifications regarding our guests or other projects as well. So watch out for a regular TV. This is not a regular TV program. This is just our ECQ special digital edition. So watch out for a regular TV program on Net 25 airing very soon every Saturday 10 a.m. So again, we are live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Net 25 TV, and Eagle Broadcasting Media Channel. So that's it for now. See you again tomorrow. Bye, lovies.